Welcome back, folks. Hope you're doing well, and today we've got a quick and easy one for you. We're going to be making a delightful pudding. No, not my pudding. We're actually going to be making queen of puddings. Now we're going to do our own little twist on it, so technically you could argue and say this is not queen of puddings, but I'm going to do a CGR twist on it for today. But anyway, have a little goosey ganders at this. So instead of using that traditional milk mix that you'd find in queen of puddings, we're actually going to be doing a looser custard or crème patissiere. So we're going to have the lemon zest, the lemon juice in there as well, and homemade breadcrumbs from our one-day bread loaf video, which you can check out below in the description box. And then topped off with that mixed berry jam, and then finished with meringue, and then baked in the oven. As I said, it's a very quick one today. And as I've got your attention, feel free to hit the subscribe button or the bell notification. You know the score by now. So I can't wait to make this simple but yet delicious pudding. Let's crack on. So the first thing we want to do is put on the mixed berry jam, and we got 340 grams or 12 ounces of mixed frozen berries. And then you want 200 grams or 1 cup of caster sugar or fine granulated sugar. If we got enough, look at that, perfect. And then also we want 2 teaspoons of lemon juice as well. And make sure you catch those pips in your hand as well. And then take this over to the stove. And then place it onto the stove onto a medium heat. Give it a little quick mix around to make sure that sugar's incorporated. And then we're going to let this cook down for 20 to 30 minutes until it's nice and sticky. And don't worry, if you think it's going to burn, there's going to be plenty of moisture from the frozen berries. So while those berries are cooking down, we can get that custard mix on the go. So we're going to need 250 ml of milk, which is 1 cup. Then we want 1 tinkle of vanilla extract. Tinkle? I mean teaspoon. And then pop that onto the stove to come up to the boil, but careful it doesn't spill over. And then grab yourself a mixing bowl, and we're going to need 3 egg yolks, but also keep the whites. We're going to need them for the meringue. So time to crack on. What? You knew there was an egg pun coming. And next we want 45 grams or 4 tablespoons of caster sugar or fine granulated sugar. Yeah, I think I kind of run out. In addition, we want 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of corn flour or cornstarch. And also 2 teaspoons or 10 grams of all-purpose flour or plain flour. And then we want half a lemon zest and juice catching the pips. And then give that a little cheeky whisk until it's nice and pasty. So once the milk has come up to the boil, slowly add a little bit to begin with, and then give it a little whisk to incorporate into the egg mixture. And then add a little bit more, and repeat the process until it's all incorporated into the milk. This will prevent it from having any lumps. And then we're just going to pour this mix straight back into the pan, and then take this over to the stove, and then place this onto a medium heat, giving it a gentle whisk and cooking this out until it's nice and thick. So once it's thickened up, cook it out for a further 2 minutes, just to make sure there's no eggy taste and those eggs are properly cooked. And once it's cooked, take it off the stove, and then pour the custard onto a tray lined with parchment paper, and then carefully spread that out nice and evenly. And then place another piece of parchment paper over the top to stop it forming a skin. And then just set this aside to cool down, and we'll blend it later on. So once you've got a nice jammy consistency with those berries, it's time to blend it up. So grab yourself a hand blender and blend away. And once this is nice and silky, we're going to pass it through a sieve to remove the pips. And if you want to keep the pips in the jam, then just don't pass it through the sieve. So the mixed berry jam is ready to go, so we're going to set that aside. Oh, flipping out. And as we got the blender out, let's start blending that custard down. And then blend that until it's nice and smooth. So once that's looking silky and smooth, we're going to grab ourselves 2 oval oven dishes and just evenly spread it out between the 2. And then using our one-day bread recipe from our video, which you're thinking, isn't this wholemeal? It certainly is. But because I made wholemeal this week, we're going to use this. But usually, generally, you want to use the white bread for this. And what we're going to do is just pretty much just tear it down into little pieces. And then just pop it straight into the custard. And you want about half a slice per dish. So before we do anything else with this, we need to preheat that oven. So 320 Fahrenheit or 160 Celsius. Next, we want to put a thin layer of mixed berry jam over the top. Now I say thin, you can go thick if you want to. So those are filled now, and it's time for that beautiful meringue. Next, grab your KitchenAid with the whisk attachment. If not, you're going to have to pull some elbow grease. And then pop the 3 egg whites we had from earlier straight into the bowl. And then pop that onto a medium speed to bring up to a nice little froth. And once it's frothy, pick up the speed just a little bit. And then you want 175 grams or 6 ounces of caster sugar or fine granulated sugar. And then you want to very slowly start adding the sugar little by little. And once you've added all the sugar, whip it up until it's a stiff peak. And once it's ready, it's time for that test. And what test are you going to ask? I think we're good. And then pop the meringue into a piping bag with a nice thick nozzle. And then you want to pipe the meringue over the top with some nice little peaks. Or you can do any shape that you prefer. We're going to go with this one for today. And then into the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes until golden and crunchy on top. So there we go, we just took them out of the oven, and maybe not quite as coloured, but they're nice and crunchy, and you got a nice little fluffiness on the inside. So overall, I'm pretty damn happy with these. So all we need to do now is just pretty much garnish these up with maybe a few little berries just to finish it off. And all we want is a few little raspberries just to finish it off with that garnish. And obviously, bearing in mind, this is not just going to be one portion. You want to be sharing this bad boy. Unless you're feeling extra peckish. And then just finished off with the smallest amount of ice and sugar as well over the top. So there we go, there is our twist on Queen of Puddings, and it's turned out an absolute little gem. And I think we need to see on the inside, right? Nice and crunchy on the outside. Goodness me. Here we go. Oh my goodness me. Look at that little devil. And I'm trying to cut down a little bit, but I will have a little taster of this one. So, here we go. It's going to be very hot, so I've got to be careful not to burn my tongue. So let's give this a try. Oh my goodness me. What an absolute little delight that is. That beautiful creamy custard with the punch of the citrus from the lemon zest and the juice. Then those fruity berries kicking through, and that crunchy, marshmallowy meringue turned out fantastic. What a combination. I mean, this is not traditional, but I think you're going to enjoy this one today. So that's it for today, folks. I know it's been short but sweet, but it's been so much fun. And if you want to try out this Queen of Puddings with a CGR twist on it, the list of ingredients will be below in the description box as always. So we won't be here next week, as we'll be doing a special stream on Twitch cooking some delightful beef Wellingtons. But feel free to come over, and we'll be streaming Monday to Friday next week, 10 AM Mountain Time as per usual. Link is below in the description box. But don't worry, we will be back the following Friday. In addition, feel free to hit that subscribe button, also that notification bell. Also, if you want to leave a like or dislike or a comment, always appreciated. But until next time, folks, stay safe, awesome, and amazing.